Hello guys, in today's tutorial I will show you how you can get Victoria Neuman's powers in Minecraft Bedrock. This is a character from the TV show The Boys. Basically, she can pop heads. Yes, this will actually one-hit every mob in the game, and I think we can just get into the commands because we have some work to do, and this also requires structure blocks. Yeah, just so you know in the beginning. Alright, so first you want to create three different scoreboards. The first one is called time. I'm not gonna get into detail on how they're used, at least not now. The second one is called crouch, and this will be important in a second. The last one is called drop, and this will really just play a role in the end of the tutorial. First we need to build a crouch detection so that we can actually activate the ability while holding redstone. This one detects if we're not crouching, and then this one detects if the player is crouching. The activation isn't really complicated either. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong command block. Again, that's the wrong command block. So first, it just tests if you're crouching, and then summons a boat 100 blocks above the player. Yeah, it's facing these coordinates right here. We're using a boat for this tutorial because this is also meant to work vertically. And then the boat gets the tag head E, which is short for head explosion. I think I could just have made it HE, but I didn't. And then the player gets the tag active. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that these commands here only work if the player doesn't have the tag active. And as soon as the player stops crouching again, the tag active gets removed. This just is meant to prevent spamming. Even though it might look differently, the projectile on its own isn't really that complicated either. So yeah, you've got this command block here, which teleports the boat forward, and these three command blocks are chain, unconditional, and always active, as you probably also recognize by the shape. But these three command blocks here have the exact same input. It's just required for the movement to be fast yet smoothly. This detects a hit, a collision pretty much, and I won't be getting into detail regarding how boat projectiles work, but yeah, just trust me on that. This will make the boat able to hit enemies, and if it hits them, they get the tag head E, which again is short for head explosion. And this whole row is dedicated to entities with a tag head explosion that are not a boat. Yeah, then after that, the boat simply teleports itself into the void, meaning it is deleted. And this here determines the range. So if there is a player within that's not within a range of 45 blocks, then this command is going to trigger, also killing the boat. If you want to change the range, you can do this by adjusting this number here. So now this is the actual explosion, and these are just some place-on commands. And well, the particles of the explosion are just some other things. It's not all particle commands, but let's get into that when it's about time. So, alright, the first command block has a delay in ticks of 40, this is important. And this is the first place-on command, so I will just be rushing through all of these because I don't think reading out the names loud will do you any good. This has a delay in ticks of 1. And also make sure to copy the pitches and stuff because, well, otherwise it will sound differently. This also has a delay in ticks of 1. I think most of them have a delay in ticks of 1. This one has a delay in ticks of 3. Then it's again 1. It's again 1. The last one is also 1, I think. No, and this is 2. Then it's going to load a structure, which is going to be the particles. But I'll be talking about this again when it's about time. And, well, then the entity with the tag head explosion is killed. Now it gets a bit more complicated, but don't worry, you should be fine. You might be wondering how the heck do particles fit into a structure, because that's not a thing, right? So, but you can put entities into a structure. So the first thing I want you to do is grabbing a structure void and the structure block, then then adjusting the structure block to have these size parameters and offset, and then you place the structure void into the structure. Good. So then you set a command block right below it with the input p at e type equals beds tilde tilde to tilde, which will teleport all beds right up there. And you obviously need to activate it. So, and then you've got this command block here, which you also would need to activate, but I'm not going to do this in my case, which summons beds called blood p, which is short for blood particle. And what's going to happen is that this is going to summon beds. The beds are going to be teleported here, and they're going to stay there. And then you can save the structure and make sure to set the name head, capital E for head explosion. I think this is really the last time I'm going to explain this with the head explosion thing. Yeah, alright, so I think we can move on. Good, so now that you have saved the structure, what's going to happen is this raw commands is going to at some point load the structure with all the beds that are, you know, kind of squished together. And then they are just going to start moving, and in that time they will be executing a particle commands. And this is really the closest you can get in Minecraft to a blood particle, I suppose. Maybe there's other redstone particles that might be fitting. And also the beds get invisibility, that's important for sure. I didn't really take care of stopping the sounds, because the sounds kind of fit in my opinion, and you don't even hear them that much of the time. At this point you will need to save 3 other structures. Make sure to put a structure void on all of these. So yeah, you just put redstone in one of the structure blocks, click save. Red dye here in this one, name the structure dye, click save. And then these, wait, how are they called? Weeping vines. And yeah, they get this, they get thrown into this structure block and saved as a structure as well. These kind of, you know, are just meant to represent some gore and stuff. I wasn't completely sure how to go about that. Now the drop scoreboard we created earlier is going to come into play, and the time scoreboard is also going to come into play in a second, but this is at the end of this chain. So each blood bed with a time score of 10 is going to have a random score of a random drop score between 1 and 10. If the drop score is 1, then it drops redstone, or loads the redstone structure. If it's 2, then it loads the dye structure. And if it's 3, it loads the vine structure. So it just has a 30% chance of, well, you know, a loading structure at all, because otherwise it would just be way too many items and kind of unrealistic. I think it's a bit too much already. Alright, but in the end of this chain, the bat is also killed. And yeah, each bat gets a time, gets added 1 time each tick. So yeah, this really is just everything about this command creation. If you like the boys and you like Minecraft, then I could also really recommend this video, link on the screen, where I made Homelander in Minecraft Bedrock using just command blocks. It's also a tutorial, so what are we waiting for? Just click it.